The American dream includes several hopes, one of which is to own one's own home, to be able to be financially successful enough to do that. And the Habitat model, which allows you to use your own hard work to help build someone else's house and then have your house built for you, is a remarkable opportunity for people to be empowered to be able to meet that dream.
Celebrating home is a recognition that homes are more than the house that surrounds a family. It's everything. It's community, it's where you come from and where you're going. Celebrate home is really what Habitat's all about.
If you have a will and determination, you can make it.
It takes a village to raise a child. I honestly believe that.
A little house and a community. That's what we got. And that's where everything is come together.
Well, you know, the mother invention is need, right? One of the things that drove us to the new paradigm was that we were facing an existential crisis. Land prices in Charlottesville went from about $10,000 a year to about $80,000 a year in the span of 3 years last decade.
It's nowhere really in Charlottesville that's affordable to live.
It's hard enough to find a job. It's even harder to keep the job. And I did not have an avenue to obtain a home without Habitat.
You know, we all need the basics. Wasn't it FDR? You know, freedom from want. And how do we make sure that everybody has the floor upon which they can build a life?
The day that I got the call saying that I was accepted to Habitat was March 19th. It was about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and Shelley Cole actually called and said, "Congratulations, you've been chosen to be part of Partner Family." All I could do was cry because I never in a million years thought I would be a homeowner.
It makes you feel good that you're out there and you're working towards something like a goal, a light at the end of the tunnel, something that you can obtain. It feels good that you have people around you helping you do this, you know. When it makes you feel real good, it warms your heart. The work hours that you put in on the work site for your sweat equity are strenuous. With the 40 hours I do on my regular job, it is nothing compared to the 8 hours that you put in out there on that day. But when you get home, you feel that you've accomplished something and that you are working towards a greater cause. It makes you feel like you're walking tall.
I'm comfortable working with a saw now. I know how to beat a hammer now. I thought I did at first, I didn't. But Mr. Peter, he showed me how. He showed me how to paint a door. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff. And I can use those skills as far as when I go into my home and something breaks.
I went from being homeless to living with my sister, to getting full custody of my son, to finally getting a place of my own, I said apartment, to working towards getting a house.
Growing up, I was raised in low-income housing, and it was awful. Like, to the point where my mom wouldn't even let us go outside and play. I want my kids to be able to enjoy the outside.
The Habitat program is a godsend to people like me who have the will and determination, but just not the assets to buy a house.
I have had to work like 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. I make about $10 an hour. So $10 an hour, and then having to pay rent, electric, gas, water in the city is like real ridiculous.
Being in my situation, I have no family, okay? The only family that I have is my son and my sister. That's it. I have no one to turn to. I have no one that can loan me money. I have no one that can co-sign for me, you see? We have no one to help us. We have no one that cares, except for Habitat.
It's always an incredibly special day for us when a family takes that step and moves into their home for the first time. But we know that we need to do more. The need in this community is tremendous, so we've scaled up. Project 20 is our commitment to this community that we're going to build a minimum of 20 homes each and every year until housing poverty is a thing of the past. We started at Peyton Street, a beautiful 34-unit mixed income development with park and open space, rain gardens, a wonderful place for kids to play. We then moved on to Sunrise, the nation's first trailer park transformation in the nation without resident displacement. It's almost built out there and it's thriving.
Habitat Charlottesville has created a revolutionary new model and is setting a new standard for providing affordable housing options for low-income people.
In all, we've been part of giving birth to 6 new mixed-income communities in the area, including Belmont Cottages, Burnett Commons, and Harmony Ridge. And in the process, we've discovered that community is much more than just bricks and mortar. Community is a process. It's about people coming together. It's about love and sweat, tears and laughter. It's about where people have been, where they are, and most importantly, what they're building together.
We have these meetings where, these good neighbor meetings, and a lot of us are single parent mothers. And even outside of Habitat, we've built a relationship. And that's part of a community now. We're building our community now and our houses aren't even finished.
Well, one of the things that we just did was the economic impact study by the Weldon Cooper Public Service Center at UVA.
There's some controversy about, in communities it's regarded as a NIMBY, a not in my backyard sort of project to have affordable housing constructed in an area because neighbors are concerned that it will negatively impact their property values. When we looked at the impacts on adjoining properties, they were in the neighborhood of 5 to 8% improvement.
So rather than Habitat homes being a drag on property values of the homes around them, they actually lifted them up. And because we do it without displacing residents, we do it without gentrifying. So this is really a new paradigm, a new model for helping lift up neighborhoods for the benefit of the people who live there and for new people as well.
When you drive down a street in one of our new communities, Habitat's homes fit right in. That visual fit in the community is a good metaphor for the relationship with Habitat we have in general, and also with the relationship among residents within our communities.
The other thing is that Habitat is an affordable housing program. So it's designed to lessen the housing burden on these families so that they are spending less on housing, and consequently there's more money available for spending on things like education and health care.
After I build and move in, I'm actually thinking about going ahead and getting my nursing degree. So that is one of the biggest accomplishments other than owning a home. I'm a CNA and a med tech, so I love taking care of people. I love making sure people are okay and their needs are met. So I hope you're an RN.
Our next big step is Southwood, where there's 1,500 residents, and we're committed to healthy rehousing for all of them, and adding a market rate component, and making it so that it's a mixed income, dynamic, vital neighborhood that people want to go to and be part of.
We're engaging in perhaps an unprecedented asset-based community development project there, where we're sitting down, having honest, authentic conversations with each resident of the park so that they can tell us what their dreams are, what their needs are, but most importantly, what they're willing to do.
The organization has pledged to the 1,500 residents of Southwood that they too, like Sunrise, will have a voice in their community's revitalization.
To all these changes that have been coming, they're not coming just like I say, okay, this is gonna be the change. The community is the one who's been changing all this because they've been come with ideas. This has been changing step by step, ideas after idea. So all what you see around here is the community, the one who's been coming together. When ideas come together, when people come together, that it is a community. When we go and help other people, when we're trying to be volunteer to other people, I always fight one thing. I say, middle class, poor, rich. But community is not all that money, poor, race, colors, different things. Community is working together and trying to build our hopes together. So now, the people in Southwood, they got everybody. They got that little hope. And what I said to myself, long as somebody listen to you, you got hope.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's something to work towards. There's a goal. You know, without Habitat, I don't say you wouldn't have that, but I wouldn't have that.
They got hopes that one day, right here in this place, they're gonna own his own thing. Maybe one day you will have what you want, you know, what we always want, a little house.
I see my life it's changing, and it's changing for the better.
We're going to need this community to step up and say, Southwood is something that's all of us. Southwood is this whole community, and we all have a stake in this, and we all have to come together to make it happen. Because if we do, we can create something that's so spectacular that this nation is going to be looking to Charlottesville for guidance as to how they can do it in their own communities. That's how you move the needle. That's how you make this a better community.
Maybe your room will be upstairs. What do you think?
Like this one?
Yeah.
Like we, as partner families, like we appreciate any and everything, from coming out on Saturdays or midweek or even donating. Like if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a home.
There's gonna be a lot of kids over here to play with. So you can't see it. You're gonna have a big yard there. Can you imagine that?